The following is brought to you in part by Patrick McLaughlin of Douglas Elliman Real Estate. And by a donation from the Melissa Cohn Group with William Ravis Mortgage. More information at raveis.com. It's October and we're all wearing lederhosen. It's just like regular hosen, only later. We don't know what that means either. This is AirHamptons with Bridget and Bill. And that is the great Jim Turner.
Our one-man band.
That's his version of a polka, which, I don't know, is he drunk?
I think you have to be to do a polka.
It is October. We are thrilled to have you. It is 1 year, at least from a recording standpoint, since we started doing this.
That's right. We started last October.
So congratulations.
And October's my favorite month.
The 1 year anniversary gift is paper. I got you a dollar bill.
I'll take it. That's more
than
I got last year.
Whatever. Yes, it is better than what you got last year. We have an incredible show.
We do. We've got Christina Strassfield from the Southampton Arts Center.
Right.
We have Tom Clavin talking about what is it, like movies where people go to die, like old Halloween curse movies. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting and very, very fun, and we're happy to have Clavin the movie maven. And we have Noah Zingarelli and Alex Burst from the School of Healthy Consciousness, based here in the Hamptons.
What is healthy consciousness? I have no idea what that is.
You'll find out. Don't worry. Yes, really? I know. That's why it's an intervention. It's a healthy intervention for you.
You're right.
No, it won't.
Become like
on the air. It's like we've got to get you healthy, McCuddy.
Jim knows we're talking, right? Just out of curiosity.
Jim, you know we're talking, right?
There you go.
Big
finish.
Big finish. Yay!
I thought I was playing under you.
You are playing under us. You're way, way under us.
Now I'm way out of you.
I'm not touching that one.
We've been way out of it for a year now.
Yes.
And actually, I'm drinking from a mug, for those of you listening, that says, well, what a year this week has been. So
here we are.
Here we are. And it is the Hamptons Film Festival in October.
It is. October, what is it, the 5th to the
5th through the 12th. They're honoring Paul Simon and Todd Haynes, the guy who did Carol and a bunch of other really cool movies.
Fantastic.
And according to wanderlog.com, the number one place to visit in October on Long Island is the same as it was last year. And if I recall correctly, you guessed this correctly.
Montauk Point Lighthouse.
It is the Montauk Point Lighthouse.
It is. Everybody just you know why? Because we love to just get in our car and drive. Like, the angst and the everything. We just get in the car and drive, and when you get to the lighthouse, there's no more driving. You got to turn around and go back.
Is that all there is? And you turn around and go back.
Yeah.
But everybody seems to like it because it's number one every time they do this poll. And the also on the list is the Sagamore Hill National Museum where Teddy Roosevelt grew up. Have you ever been there?
Yes, of course I have.
That cool? Well, Turner's chiming in too.
What, you like it?
Well,
you knew Teddy Roosevelt.
Changed my policy about horned animals on walls, of which they all over. But it's great.
Yeah,
okay.
I know, but you know what? It's really cool. When Eric and I lived up in New Hampshire, there's a place called The Fells in Newbury, New Hampshire, that was owned by John Hay, who was Teddy Roosevelt's Secretary of State. And they closed it down. It fell apart. It was disrepaired. Then the Friends of the Fells got it back together and everything. And Eric and I, there was a private dinner for 8 people. And for some reason, we weren't big to-dos or anything. We were invited to this dinner.
Supposed to be 100, but nobody cared.
No, it was a tiny little private thing, but the last person who had eaten in that dining room was Teddy Roosevelt and his people. So it hadn't
Bridget,
been...
drop the coin.
What?
Drop the coin.
Oh, God, I name-dropped Teddy Roosevelt. I don't know, that one is
we have a tip jar.
Okay.
We have a coin drop jar.
Instead of a swear jar, which of course,
by the way,
I have a name-drop jar.
The Explorers Club in New York City has a room with 1,000 animal heads. All that stuff's going to get canceled. I don't know how there's still a Sagamore National Museum with a bunch of heads on the wall. That's it's just not.
They're not human heads.
I
know they're animal heads, and I agree with you. I mean, I'm
elsewhere on this list, the old Westbury Gardens. I've also never been there. Is that nice?
Do you go anywhere?
No, I'm
Does
just
Mrs.
here.
McCuddy ever let
just
you
at
out?
LTV on Industrial Road.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
No, it's a hostage situation. I stay here or at home and don't get out. The Cradle of Aviation Museum.
Have you never been there
Planetarium.
either?
What
Oh
is
my
that?
God, you've never
First
been
guest
there?
will join us in a moment. She's nodding her head like no. No, the Cradle of Aviation Museum.
It's wonderful.
Really?
Yeah, it's in Farmingdale or something. Where is it?
All right.
I've been there.
What about the zip lines at Adventure Park? Have you done that?
Me and a zip line? Are you kidding me?
That's an October highlight. And
I'll tell you what, I actually did it for my 58th birthday. I zip lined once.
How'd that go?
It was awesome. It was great.
Yeah.
The monkeys.
That one in Old Vegas looks cool. The one that goes along the strip.
I was
that's
in
like
Nicaragua,
town.
like in the 300 feet above the forest floor. It was cool.
There's also in Long Island, the list is almost done, Escape the Room game in Long Island. Did you know that's out here too?
Yes, it's
That
actually really close to where I live.
Really?
Yeah, my daughter, is an enigmatologist. She designs puzzle rooms. Georgia does. When she's not on stage, that's what she does. Yeah. Wow. Really, really fun.
So if she gets caught in a room, it's very ironic.
It would be. It would be very caught in any kind of situation. She can weasel her way out of it.
And
That's how she
finally,
got
the
job.
Planting Fields Arboretum.
That one
Have
I
you
don't
ever been
know.
there? Okay,
Never heard
good.
of that
We
one.
finally stumped you.
No,
Okay.
but Bayard Cutting, and it's called the Bayard Cutting Arboretum. So I thought I went in with scissors. No. His name was Bayard Cutting. You cannot cut the flowers. They frown upon that. I'm actually going to put a name drop in there, Bayard Cutting.
I'm Trick and she's Treat. This is the October edition of AirHamptons with Bridget and Bill, and we are going to learn a little bit about what's happening at the Southampton Arts Center.
Yeah, this is amazing. One of my dearest, friends, one of my friends for a long
It's a
time.
short list.
Yeah, it is. Seriously, I don't even know if you're on it. Christina Strassfield, who I've known for a very long time, has recently joined the forces taken over.
It was a bloody coup.
At the Southampton Arts Center as their new executive director. So this is wonderful. Welcome, Christina. I'm glad to have you on.
Thanks so much for allowing me to be here. It's really exciting to see everyone and to participate in this great show.
We'll change that. So congratulations on the gig. And this is what did it started out as a parish or like a church many years ago?
It was the Parish Art Museum, and Samuel Parish, his idea was that he wanted to build this museum art center for the community, and he did the grand tour of Europe and bought all sorts of art and wanted to bring it back so that the community could actually see good art. And there's a lot of reproductions, and there was a lot of real art. Actually, there's a show up at the the Southampton Historical Society right now, which is the real art from the collection.
Cool. So this is his collection.
His collection.
Now, okay, so the thing I want to ask you is, you're walking around Southampton, you're seeing all these like cool little shops, and then you come on all of these like Romanesque busts that are outside, which is next to the
statue garden.
A statue garden
Absolutely.
of men's heads.
Absolutely.
And so is that part of the original?
That's part of the original.
Okay.
Those are the Roman emperors. The large one at the end is the Augustus of Prima Porta, and it's kind of wonderful. When I was in graduate school, I actually did a paper on the Augustan heads, and so kind of it's wonderful, like coming full circle and looking at them and enjoying them. And we do wonderful dinners out there and parties and celebrations, and so people.
McCuddy's still on Augustan heads, trying to come up with a not blue joke
I've
about
been
that.
there's 11 that I can't do. I've been to outdoor movies there too. There've been some documentaries and Q&As and stuff, and it's really it's a lovely setting.
It's a wonderful space.
And in a town that has on occasion mowed things down and put up a Tiffany's, it's kind of a nice thing that we're preserving.
Absolutely. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year. And again, that's an important fact because when the parish moved out, there was discussions that it was going to become, condos, it was going to become stores. I remember that. And it was the founding members, Simone Levinson and Whitney Stevens, who decided that should not happen. It should really be. And they helped raise the money, create a board, worked with Mayor Epley at the time, and really initiated the Art Center. So it's really fantastic that we've been able to follow the mission of building community through the arts, which is what we're all about.
And I want to ask you, there are other art places, and you've all kind of played musical chairs, because I know you recently were with Guildhall as a curator for almost 30 years.
Absolutely.
What exactly is the mission of Southampton Arts Center? Because I'm going to say it just seems like it's a little more fun.
Oh, that's sweet. It is building community through the arts. And as an art center, you can be a little bit more relaxed. So I think probably that's what you're hinting at.
No shade being thrown on any of the other amazing resources
That's too
that
late
we
for
have.
that.
Yeah, right.
You just trashed Guildhall and it hasn't even reopened
not
yet.
At all. As a museum, it's a wonderful place. The parish is a wonderful art museum. And of course, there's certain standards that you can follow. But as an art center, you can be a little bit more flexible. You can show work, you can sell artwork, You can have food in the galleries, all those kind of things that you can't do when it's a formal accredited museum. So
Well, that brings us to what's happening in October. What's or this
the whole fall.
Like,
We've
what's
got a
going
lot
on?
of great programs. I'm so excited. Opening October 7th, we're going to have an exhibition called The Heroines of the Abstract Expressionist Era. So we have Lee
Finally,
Krasner.
I've been begging for that.
Stop it, you.
What does that mean?
So many people are always thinking about Pollock, they're thinking about de Kooning, but they don't realize that there were women who were equally as present doing artwork, such as Lee Krasner, who really pushed forward.
You mean lady artists?
Lady artists, female artists that you never see in museums, or you see only 10% of them on the museum walls.
So they'll be in
their
the back room.
collections.
What's going to be up front?
No, they are going to be throughout
Phil, I'm
the
gonna kill
museum.
you.
So we're kind of excited about that. So we're going to really showcase all of these great artists, from Louise Bourgeois, Helen Frankenthaler, Mercedes Matter.
Oh, yeah.
Really fantastic
I just saw one of
people.
Helen's works at Works on Paper a couple of months ago in New York. I was so happy to see her work. I remember her from that.
And I think that we're really, bringing forth these wonderful artists and letting people know how important they were and what a role that they really played. So that's going to open October 7th with the formal opening on the 14th.
Great.
We're going to be having the Hamptons International Film Festival coming to us on the 7th and the 8th for 5 screenings a day, which
wow.
we're excited about. We do studio classes every Friday with a live model, which is wonderful, with Linda Capello. We are going to be showing a movie by Lana Jokel, the famous documentary filmmaker, on Elizabeth Strong Cuevas, Hal Buckner, and Deborah Buck.
all local brilliant
all
artists.
local wonderful artists. We're going to be having a live presentation play reading of War of the Worlds. And that's going to be done by
Really?
Michael Disher.
Like, that's
Just
yeah.
like Orson Welles did, and when
That's
everyone
right.
called and freaked out. And sort of,
Yeah.
We're hoping no one's going to freak out this time, but we're excited about that.
We're
and that's
having
going to be
Martians last year.
October 21st and 22nd. We're going to have a Halloween silent disco party, which we're really excited. And we're going to have Gianna.
Another show.
Yes.
I think we were talking
Can we
about
have a
one
moment of silence for the silent disco?
I can take a hint. Jeez Louise.
But Gianna Volpe from WLIW is going to be the awards judge. She was the awards judge last year. So we do judging for young children, and then we do judging for adults. And people really went out of their way to have great costumes. So it's really kind of
What was like a
exciting.
memorable costume?
Oh, there was a person who came as a unicorn, and their unicorn, their horn lit up, and they had little hoofs that they went on.
But then when they
Really
won,
exciting.
no one could find them.
They had disappeared.
Very exciting. Very
wonderful.
exciting.
Wow, that's a
Fun.
lot.
We do. And we're excited about all the different programs and reaching the community on all different levels. So again, the community that's here, at that time of the year, and the people who are sophisticatedly want to know about art, who want to have fun, who want to just enjoy.
Right. So
If you're listening to this, I just want to mention this is AirHamptons with Bridget and Bill. If you are in the city, pretend you didn't hear how nice it is out here in October.
and we're talking with Christina Strassfield from the Southampton Arts Center.
It really is one of the nicest times of the year.
It is.
All the things we talked about at the top of the show, and this is the idea that there was probably 20 or 10 years ago that there would not have been this much going on in October at the Southampton.
You know who loves it out here in October?
I can't imagine.
Yellow Jackets. That's the only thing. They're the bane of my existence. I
Really?
Yeah, I actually looked
Do you have
up
an
like,
EpiPen? Do you?
No, I'm not allergic. I just hate them. Okay. I don't have to be allergic. I don't have to have a reason. Do I need a reason to hate?
They say nice
nasty-
things about you.
Oh, stop it. They do not.
I'm kidding. They
Do
don't.
they really?
No.
But you're absolutely right. When I first came out here in '87, I remember like the streets rolled up right after Columbus Day weekend. At that point, and then afterwards is when they started the Hamptons International Film Festival, which ended up being Columbus Day weekend and really extending the season. And now, it's kind of wonderful that people are out every weekend.
Yeah.
They enjoy it.
Yeah.
What other events do you have going on as we get into the
Into the
winter?
winter time or
Any
into the-
plans? I'm
We
sure you
are going to have a big Christmas show that's going to be done by Michael Disher as well. That's going to be December 9th and 10th.
Is it It's a Wonderful Life?
It's going to be a mixture of A Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street. So he's writing it himself.
So it's like the radio shows because you're on book and you get to stand at a mic and do it. I know.
And all the sound effects
and
of
sound
the
effects
walking.
as well. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, Yeah. Oh, that's
And that's
cool.
always fun. That's always fun. We're also going to be showing the Pollock film, and Helen Harrison is going to do an introduction and talk about how Ed Harris came up with the idea and all the things that went into actually filming the Pollock film at the Pollock Krasner House.
Clavin
That's
could back
exciting.
me up on this. Didn't Marcia Gay Harden win the Oscar for
She
that?
did.
I think she. Okay,
She did,
I'm sorry.
absolutely.
And Helen Harrison, of
you
course.
know.
Helen Harrison is director of the Pollock Krasner
Right,
House.
and Ed Harris was nominated, but he didn't win. But he did an excellent job.
It's a
for
great
that.
movie. Just
Really,
great. I mean,
Absolutely.
and-
a few mistakes, and she'll point those out, which is exciting.
It'll be like when I watch Plan 9 from Outer Space, and I'm like, look, that gravestone just moved. But
Turns
more
out he did
artsy.
no spattered art pieces. That's in the movie, but it turns out that isn't what he did.
He didn't?
No, it was all dogs playing poker.
The truth will come out. The truth must be told.
And that was shot out here. Which
It was
against
actually at the
people-
house, and there was a scene, I think, with snow, and they actually had to have snow going down on the road, and it was people were lined up outside watching it.
I
So
have to say,
really
when I
exciting.
watched it, I remember getting kind of teary at one point, just thinking, God, this is just such an amazing,
That house
amazing
would be
place.
worth so much today.
Oh God! If only I hadn't sold the
Realtors
house.
watch it
for-
and
no.
go.
Great film. We're also going to be showing a film that Audrey Flack did.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're good friends with Audrey, and
Yeah,
we're hoping
yeah.
to get her out.
Is that Queen of Hearts?
Not the Queen of Hearts one. There was a film that Rick Friedman, because these works are from
Ricky,
Rick
yeah.
Friedman's collection,
Yeah.
and so he did a great interview with her talking about, how she knew Pollock and how all of that. So we're excited about that, and we
Modeled
hope
for
to be
her.
there. Yes, absolutely.
I modeled for her for 3 months.
Did you
in
really?
her studio, and it was right when Eric and I were first together. So she heard everything. So I'd go in there for like 6 hours a day, drop my clothes. I could still show you the pose I was in. It was for the Queen
That's
Catherine
fine,
of
that's okay.
Braganza. No, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not.
This is NPR.
It would be okay on the radio because no one could see it. And Linda Capello, I used to model for. I modeled for everyone out here.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Where else do you get to take off your clothes, sit around, and get like $20 an hour? It was pretty cool. So I love
more
Mrs.
now.
McCuddy gives me 10.
Yeah.
Am I underpaid?
You're underpaid.
She pays me to put clothes on.
There you go.
Well, look, this is exciting. You've obviously come in blazing, and there's tons of stuff going on. And I will say to people, it's the kind of place you can drive or walk by and take for granted. And we really need to walk in and see what's going on
Yes.
because if you think it shuts down in the off season, you're wrong. And we've had some excellent examples of that.
And what's the website so people can look you up?
It's southamptonartscenter.org.
That's great.
Very
Christina,
simple.
such an incredible pleasure as always. Anything you want to, we always say anything you want to bring up
Look,
before
I
we
have
leave?
a follow-up with all the movies you're going to do. Is there a theater, a dedicated theater in there now, or you set up a...
It's way in the back. There's a theater. So we have the outdoor theater in the summer, but we have an indoor theater that goes year-round as well. So sometimes we'll show things inside. We just had the Harlem Gospel Choir that we wanted to show outside, but unfortunately that night it was raining, so we had to show it inside. We had to have them perform inside, which was really great. It
Christina.
seats about 170 people.
Oh,
I
Jim
love that
Turner
theater.
with an
played there.
off-camera question.
I've played there in that theater.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a great theater. Hi, Christina.
and you taught my daughter this summer.
That's right. I was.
That's so great. That's
Guitar,
so
I'm hoping.
Guitar, absolutely. He was very patient with her.
She was
wonderful.
great.
See, this
What
is
a
the
great-
stuff. This is what we
what a
love
great
about the
individual.
Hamptons.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the stuff they don't show you on reality TV. Like we all know each other. We're all part of one big family. if
Jim
you go
Turner
out here.
also taught guitar to the late Jimmy Buffett's son,
Yes, Cameron.
Cameron. Yeah.
That's right.
At the compound in North Haven. Yeah.
Yeah, you get around.
Oh man.
You're like
Could
our.
Cameron take up the mantle of Jimmy Buffett?
That was when he was around 10 to 12, and I haven't been around in touch with him, so I don't know.
That was a very long time ago.
Okay, well,
Well, it was great
love
having
to-
you.
We
Yeah.
love a dead end, and there it was. So I was just
Oh,
curious.
there you
I'm
go.
I'm
Just
teasing.
hit a wall there.
Thank you so much for
Christina,
joining
it's so
us.
great to have you on. Thank you so much, Christina Strassfield, Executive Director of the Southampton Arts Center, southamptonartscenter.org, and be there. There's so much going on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
It's October 1st, and we're just as sick of pumpkin spice lattes as you are. This is AirHamptons with Bridget and Bill. I'm the one that isn't Bridget.
You have a name. Use it. Bill.
Yes, thank
Bill
you.
McCuddy.
And we've got so much going on in October, not just at the Southampton
Arts Center.
Arts Spencer, but
Yeah.
we talked about the Hamptons Film Festival.
We did.
And Jim Clavin, the movie maven. Jim Clavin. And,
I know
Jim today.
and Tom Turner on
I
guitar.
actually like that. Let's just call them that. Jim Clavin and Tom Turner. I think that's great.
Bridget
No, but-
McCuddy.
Yeah,
We'll
well,
obviously edit all that out. So,
yeah, we'll fix it in post.
Post.
But Tom
Yes.
Clavin is going to be here. He's here now. Tom Clavin, we call him the movie maven.
Right.
To discuss something a little offbeat because that is your speciality. We're not going to be talking about like what's popular or whatever. What are we
before
talking
you jump
about?
into that, are you a big Hamptons Film Festival guy, or do you avoid
I've
town
gone to
during-
it, especially in the earlier years. Recent years, it's just gotten like I think symbolic of the East End, too crowded.
Yeah.
I'm not a big guy for waiting on line and being jostled and elbowed out of the way,
Especially when there's yellow jackets.
especially by Yellow Jackets.
Yes, there you go. Sorry,
A
I'm
sharp
good.
elbow.
Or Teddy Roosevelt's Buffalo Head? I
Yeah,
don't know, where is
it's
this
a
going?
moose, not a buffalo.
We're trying to
Jeez.
pull.
Anyway, so
Yes, welcome.
but you have an interesting theme, very similar to our award-winning show from last year, where you talked about everything that was wrong with It's a Wonderful Life. What's on the docket today, Clavin?
Well, I wanted to go double down on Halloween because I wanted to do something about horror movies, but I thought would make it extra interesting is horror movies where careers went to die.
And what did you call that? The Curse of the Last
Curse of the Last Movie, or
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either the last movie or close to the end of it. I mean, I have 5 examples. One of them is that I never liked Joan Crawford.
Okay.
Big Hollywood star, Academy Award winner for Mildred Pierce. Too much eyebrows, too much sharp shoulders. never really got her. So I'm glad to report that she did 2 real stinkers towards the end of her career. She was the wheelchair-bound sister in
Whatever
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Right.
I kind of liked that though. Victor Buono was in that, and
But she should have stopped while she was behind.
okay.
And wait a minute, is that the one where Betty Davis like feeds her a dead rat?
Not sure if that's her or Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte.
Oh, it might be Hush Hush
Which
Sweet Charlotte.
sister ate the rat?
I don't
That's a
remember.
good
I don't know if
question.
anybody actually ate it. I think it was just on the plate. I don't think anybody would go so far as to actually eat a rat.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
probably
like lift off the silver top and
But she made
voila.
much worse movies than that.
Well,
at
I'm going
the
to
end.
tell you about her movie called Trog.
Yeah, I thought you
Trog?
were going to mention Trog.
Oh, wait,
You never
Trog?
saw Trog? T-R-O-G.
Is it about a
RG.
caveman or something?
Yes.
Yes.
I did not see it. I cannot believe I didn't see. You guys know. Wait, I got to do this. You know, I dated Randy Dreyfuss, who was one of the. He wrote 50 Worst Films of All Time with Michael Medved, who then went on to the Golden Turkey Awards. But he used to try to wake me up, be like, Bridge, Dracula versus the Smog Monster is on. And I'd be like, I don't want to watch that. So yes, okay.
I didn't see that one. You got me on that one.
May not exist.
Well,
It might
before
have been a
cable,
dream.
these were the late night movies that ran
On Channel 11,
in the
Channel
70s and
9.
80s.
Yeah, WPIX.
Creature feature.
Right.
Things like that.
So tell me about Trog.
Well, Trog, she's an anthropologist, and she discovers, I can't remember how, that there is a caveman still living. She subdues him with her tranquilizer gun, which apparently anthropologists always carry with them, and brings him back to so-called civilization. Much mayhem ensues. And, Joan Crawford, she lived another 7 years after this movie, but mercifully, Trog was her last.
By the way, Trog was Broderick Crawford with no makeup.
Oh no.
No, it wasn't. Who was Trog? I forget.
I thought you were going to say Bradford Dillman.
It was like
Frog?
no, he was no. Anyway, there was some guy in heavy makeup that was just yeah, right.
Very young Nick Nolte.
I'm going to look it up while you guys do that. I'm doing the thing
Okay.
we never do here.
Now, while you're doing that, Bridget, I know you have a fondness for Richard Burton.
Yes.
And since I said it, you did. You
Well,
don't
wait
have
a
to put
minute,
point in there.
Okay, because Richard Burton.
I know, read you stories. Read
No, he
stories.
sang me songs in Welsh, and we did.
Okay.
Wow.
But we
Was
can't
he
overlook
sober?
Exorcist the Heretic.
Oh yeah.
Terrible film.
Yeah.
One of the worst.
Terrible film.
He plays a priest who's investigating what happened to the previous priest. And it's just a really bad film. I mean, the only thing that it doesn't have is Linda Blair, who's back, but her head does not turn around, which is the only reason probably to go see this picture. You know, a sad little footnote to this. It was the last film of Paul Henreid.
Oh, really?
I remember him. He was Victor
Great actor,
Laszlo
yeah.
in Casablanca.
Yes,
And,
yes.
Now Voyager, I
Now
think.
Voyager,
So
with
he
Betty
also
Davis.
went to die there.
But wait, didn't Blatty direct The Heretic, or was it Schrader and then Blatty did?
I think Blatty ended up with the credit for the Heretic.
I think he directed the third one.
Maybe
Well,
the
listen,
third
I
one.
just,
Exorcist
I
3.
just have to go back just really quickly to
Yes.
say that Joe Cornelius played Trog, but in the Wikipedia page, like his name is not in blue, so he clearly did nothing else afterwards. It's just
He's a man without a link.
Yes.
And he ironically was playing a
a
caveman.
missing link.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Unlike Joan
But,
Crawford, he realized this was the end of his career.
Yes, he did. He's like, I'm not even
Said
gonna
it right away.
Put me in heavy makeup.
Now,
Don't give me any lines.
one can say that William Shatner, like his career, will never die.
Yes.
but he gave it a real good try with Kingdom of the Spiders. Has anybody seen Kingdom of the
No,
Spiders?
Kingdom of the Spiders.
It's he's
And I'm a huge fan of Bad
Now,
Bill Shatner.
very
He had albums, where he sang.
Oh, yeah.
Tell the difference.
Rocket Man. You've got to understand. I
No kidding.
don't know what I'm doing.
They're classics. And there's a connection between William Shatner and East Hampton and the Hamptons.
What?
Well, after the TV show Star Trek was canceled, Shatner was on. His career was on the rocks for years. And before they rebooted the movie franchise of Star
Right.
Trek, he was actually appearing in a summer stock play in Guildhall.
Of
Like
what?
1977, the same year Kingdom of the Spiders came out. He was living out of a truck at the main beach.
Shut up.
And when he got to, no, it's a true story. It's in his autobiography, one of his many autobiographies. And when he got to the theater at Guildhall, there was a phone call waiting for him. It was his agent telling him they're going to do a Star Trek movie and they want you to come back as Captain Kirk. So of course, whatever play he was doing,
Shut up.
You've got to understand. I'm at Guildhall.
No, wait, but
Not anymore.
So was he not? He never did the show at Guildhall.
no, I think I actually did.
I
This
what it is.
performance, the part of William Shatner will be played by Max Caulfield, who was the truck guy.
Joe Cornelius.
So,
Victor Bono was still available after
Right.
Baby Jane.
do you have any idea what the play was at Guildhall?
I don't.
I will
No.
look at. We got to figure that out.
Let's
That's
hope it wasn't
funny.
Hamlet.
Christina Strassfield's still here. You weren't even there yet. No
doesn't
clue.
No,
okay.
but
They've all
Yeah.
blanked it as a memory out of their heads.
I'm gonna hit up Joe Brando and be like, "What?"
he actually got in his truck and started heading west from East Hampton to Los Angeles to begin the process of doing the first Star Trek movie.
Wow. I've heard a lot of show business stories. I've never heard that one.
Now, my husband's dad would probably know because he was part of the Guildhall Community Theater.
Yeah.
They did plays all the time. Eric's
But
parents.
Shatner writes about this in one of his, like I say, he's it's not something you have to look in some footnote someplace else. He writes about sleeping at the beach in Main Beach.
Well, let me tell you what my rule is for reading biographies, and I learned this from Warner LeRoy, my father, which is he says, go and look in the back. Well, he's my dad. I'm not going to put money in the jar for my dad. Jeez, take the money out. I want it back. Is that you look in the back and you look under Warner and see if there's any mention of the Warner family. And if there isn't, then you look under LeRoy and see that. And if we're not mentioned in the biography, don't read it.
Right.
That's
Why
my dad.
bother?
That was it. That was my. He's like, listen, if I'm not in there, I'm not reading it. So that was it. It was the same thing with my dreams. I'd say, Dad, I had the most amazing dream. He'd say, was I in it? And I'd say no. He said, then I'm not interested. So there's a little
Pick up Bill Boggs'
snapshot of
new-
my
Pick up
childhood.
Bill Boggs' new Spike Unleashed. Bill McCuddy is mentioned prominently.
All right.
3
Really?
pages.
Are you the poop cleaner upper?
No, I'm a playwright that wrote Pardon My Privet. Not kidding. There's a lot of that book.
even
Boggs'
have a
book
comeback
is
for
set
that.
out here in the Hamptons, and I don't think there'll be a movie made, but if there is.
Then who would play you in the
Oh,
movie?
Clooney, of course, if he was better looking. All right. So I'm sorry.
right.
Go ahead.
Keep
What's
going.
next?
Keep going.
Rack Hansen is Shatner's name as veterinarian in Kingdom of the Spiders.
Rack Hansen?
Rack Hansen. It turns out this small Arizona town is being infested by giant tarantulas
Cool.
who eventually turn into
So
a
it's
big
based on a
cocoon.
true story.
Based on a true story, giant tarantulas. Yes, they're a good agent. They get a whole bunch
Wait,
of their employees.
they make nests. They make
They make
webs.
the town into a big nest, big cocoon. I don't want to give away the ending.
Wait a minute. Do tarantulas actually
I don't
do
think
that?
people are going to get to the end.
Anyway, so yes, okay.
Tarantulas win.
So we got Kingdom of the
Spoiler
Spiders.
alert.
Spoiler alert.
Tarantulas win.
Okay, tarantulas win.
And
We were
sadly-
outlegged.
Wait, so we've had Joan Crawford and Bill Shatner, and who else? No one else yet.
Richard Burton. So you,
Oh, Richard Burton. See, I
deliberately
blocked
overlooked
that.
You
I
deliberately
blocked
overlooked
that.
It's bias on your part.
I
You overlooked
know.
that. But this is a sad footnote. So this is the picture that Louise Fletcher made. So she went from Cuckoo's Nest to Kingdom. This
Oh, yeah.
tarantula nest.
Oh, really? So this was the nurse Ratched to.
It goes to Arizona.
Ratcheted
Gets
down
eaten
her
by-
career. And
Yes.
what
by
was it called
tarantulas.
again?
Kingdom of the Spiders.
Kingdom of the
Okay,
Spiders.
well, I'll make sure to
Actually
avoid
kind of a
that.
fun movie.
Didn't do well, but it had legs. Thank
oh my
you.
good. Thank
Speaking
you.
of which,
I'll be here all
in
week.
my next film called The Swarm, Henry Fonda's another wheelchair-bound star.
Swarm.
Oh
Speaking of
God.
legs.
Wait, is this one of the ones that had like some weird promo thing, like it tingled your seat, like the Tingler, or like
Oh, yeah.
Sense Around, or like Smell-O-Vision, something like that? The Swarm?
They just
I don't know.
pumped
We have that at our house.
Yellow Jackets into the theater.
No Yellow Jackets.
pumped
So
Yellow
yeah, okay. So tell us.
Audiences are going like this.
No.
I can't say anything funnier than that. The show's over.
So you can't see.
Clavin wins.
I think
Mic
so,
drop.
to help to make sure you can't really see the screen, they had an audience that's going like this the whole
No.
time.
Okay, so Henry Fonda's in The Swarm, but he probably didn't know this was going to be his last role.
Wait a minute. The Swarm was like an Irwin. Wasn't that
An
a
Irwin
pedigreed like?
Irwin Allen type of
Right,
thing.
who
And
did
it's written by
Earthquake
Arthur
and
Herzog, who I think
Poseidon.
had a house in Sagaponic for many years.
Who did?
Arthur Herzog. the writer who would write
really?
the Swarm and these insects and monsters taking over the planet kind of things.
Poor
And he
Henry
paid the
Fonda.
mortgage.
Yeah, but listen, I'm glad I wasn't in his
Well,
head.
Wait, Henry Fonda had a mortgage that had to be paid
No, he's
after
talking about
winning.
Arthur
Herzog.
Herzog.
Oh, Arthur Herzog.
No, what's
sorry.
incredible about this film too, it's got a cast. It's got like Fred McMurray. It's got Michael Caine, who still didn't learn his lesson from Jaws 15.
I'm not burying another Batman.
No,
you
you
know, his
didn't.
whole thing was when he got a script, Michael Caine, he got 3 scripts and he goes, where do I want to go? What's
No,
my...
wait a minute. Okay, no, I was having
picked
dinner.
him by
I was having
location.
dinner with Alec Baldwin, and he said, if you notice, and you just did it with Shatner, Michael Caine only speaks in 4 words at a time. So you have to do 4 words and then you take a break.
Oh.
So where do I want to
Oh,
spend the
right.
rest?
Where do I want to go on my... I don't
Yeah,
do
like
my...
that. You don't do it very well. You're like Dick Van Dyke. Jeez Louise.
You know who
Okay.
else is in the Swarm?
Jim Jimmer.
Olivia de Havilland.
Oh my gosh! Well, she
wow.
lived another 40. Is she still alive? Like every year, I think that she's dead, and then they're like, no, she's
She
102.
finally died a couple of years ago. At age
Right.
like 102 or
101 or 2, yeah,
She
yeah,
watched
yeah.
one more. She watched the Swarm. She said, I can't live anymore.
So-
So this film is out there.
What else do you got on
I
that
have one
list?
more.
Okay.
My personal favorite.
Okay.
Night of the Lepus, which in Iceland is known as Night of the Lepu.
Wait, lepus, like
Lepus.
butterflies or bunnies?
Bunnies. This film, incredibly, I kid you not, I'm going to make sure I get this right here. It's about an invasion of a southwest town, probably not the same one that has the spiders,
Well, it could be.
by large mutated killer rabbits.
Look at the bones.
This career-ending crap starred Rory Calhoun, Stuart Whitman, and worst of all, former screen queen Janet Leigh.
Oh, my... Really?
Now,
I don't remember
if
this
you want
at
to see
all.
the best special effects of all time, they used domesticated rabbits with miniature models of like buildings and stuff like that.
Wow.
they
They
go
just
with
throw them at it?
Well, they're domestic. You know, they hop. They hop around.
And they were just cute
And
little bunnies.
actors would dress in rabbit costumes for the scenes where there were giant rabbits actually attacking real people.
Here comes Killer Cottontail,
you gotta-
hopping
You
down
gotta
Main
look for this.
Street.
It's a great, great movie. It's a career ender for Janet Leigh. So she's done after this. She's gone.
Wow.
And I know you want me to mention Nicolas Cage, who's got more ham in him than Porky Pig.
No, wait a minute. Okay, don't.
He was in a
Porky
movie called
Pig.
Pig.
Is my uncle, so we know.
Pig is
Warner
your
Brothers
uncle?
cartoons. We're gonna. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, but did you see Pig? By the way,
I did. It's a great performance.
it is wonderful.
Nicolas Cage, yeah.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
He's like our Michael Caine now. He does like 3 or 4 stinkers, and then all of a sudden he does a wonderful film.
Yes.
And then he goes back to just cashing his checks.
Yeah.
But he does more than 4 words at a time.
There you go. That's pretty good.
Better than Michael.
What about? Yes, I did want you to mention Nick Cage.
So, but he keeps bouncing back. I mean, he like his movie Renfield, his recent movie Renfield of a horror
Yeah,
movie.
that's a lot of fun, actually.
Is it?
It's a lot
Yeah.
of fun, but I think the only way you're going to kill his career is with a golden spike through his heart.
He's a vampire.
Anyway, that's what I got for Halloween for October.
Oh, that's bravo.
Wow, it's almost too much. We warn the affiliates, we may go over. That was that's our movie maven. Who, by the way, we hope you can join us for the special we're going to do on the Hamptons Film Festival.
I won't be here, so when he says us, he doesn't mean me.
Yeah.
So,
He's already replaced
The
you in his mind.
colloquial.
absolutely. Every day he replaces me in his mind, every time I open my mouth. But Tom Clavin, our movie maven, what is your latest tome that is on the shelves right now that people can
Well,
look for?
I have a book that will be coming out next month, November, called The Last Outlaws, about the Dalton Gang and their reign of terror in the Midwest in the 1890s.
Oh, cool. And if people want to read a little bit of what you write every Wednesday, they can go to substack.com and look for The Overlook. Did you do that for The Shining? No.
No, I didn't. I don't know why I came up with it. I don't know. It's a long time ago. It's probably 2 years ago. I can't think back that far.
Okay. Well, it's so great, Tom Clavin. You know, I love having
You
you
are not
here.
overlooked here.
Thank you
And
very
we're
much.
so grateful that you step out of your best-selling author guise and instead come
Like
here
a
and,
coon.
Yes,
And go to
yeah.
bad movies so we don't have to.
Yes, thank you so much, Tom.
Tom
Great to have
Clavin,
you on
thanks.
again.
You.
So here we are.
Yes, because we're lost in a corn maze called LTV, and this is your only listening choice. We're AirHamptons with Bridget and Bill.
And
We'll
we
help
can
you
also-
find your way out of here somehow.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt. And we can also be heard on WLIW FM 88.3, Long
Yes.
Island's only NPR station.
Till they come to their senses.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So listen, what do you do to stay healthy, Bill?
Absolutely nothing.
I
Isn't
know.
Isn't it painfully obvious?
It is, and that's why I want to have this little intervention with our wonderful guests.
I'm a walking before picture.
You are. No, I am too, though. Well, no, I'm kind of an after picture now. But we have amazing guests. We have Noah Zingarelli and Alex Burst, a recently married couple.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have a year who have launched the School of Healthy Consciousness for all kinds of reasons. And we get welcome, guys. We're glad
Thank
to have
you.
you.
Yeah.
Can you believe
Thanks
this is
for-
a show? We're as stunned as you are.
It's incredible.
So, no, it's
AirHamptons with Bridget
crazy.
and Bill.
Thank you.
So I can't help but notice, even though I set out this little cornucopia thing with a pie and things that I picked up on my way here, I was actually eating an orange very recently. But Alex, you brought something because you have Baked by Burst.
Yes. Yes,
Tell us
I
about
brought
that.
you some pumpkin breakfast cookies. These are one of my favorite fall treats to make.
Breakfast
and
cookies.
I specialize in plant-based foods. So these
Did you
are
hear
all...
him? He's like, breakfast cookies. What the? That's the
Yeah,
most
I think
ridiculous thing
everybody
ever.
should
You had me
have
a
these for
breakfast cookie,
Right.
frankly.
Yeah, please have one.
Oh my gosh! So tell us a little bit first about your chefing and cooking, because I know that you focus on plant-based recipes. How does that play out in the Hamptons?
We've been doing private chef services, focusing on kind of just stocking fridges with healthy plant-based options, or we do private dinners as well.
Can you talk for a while? We're eating
Yeah.
these cookies.
Yeah,
Vamp,
we both have
vamp.
culinary backgrounds, so being a couple, it's great to join forces and work together and kind of bring what we both offer to the table.
Well, you both look like you're very, very healthy people.
What's the
Thank you.
unhealthiest thing people do?
Oh, that's good. Just interrupt me. It's okay.
People in general.
Yeah, I mean, is it our diet, or is it the lack of exercise, or is it a little of both of those
Or is it
things?
the mindset?
I think
the
it's
stress?
whatever you're doing to know yourself.
And I'm coming around to the idea that it's not prioritizing good sleep and good rest because we're not aware of how much that really affects us. And when
sure
you're tired, you just make bad choices with food.
Yeah.
Like you reach for food to uplift you, to give you some energy, but it's always like kind of what's at arm's reach. And
Right.
if you don't have healthy options, which is why we are getting into providing meal prep for people and stuff, you kind of reach for bad stuff, and that just kicks off a whole spiral.
Okay, yeah, and we're not getting any of the nutritional stuff that we used to because we're not eating enough vegetables and fruits and all of those things. Is that basically why we're an obese nation and
I think
Europeans
there's a
come
lot
here
of
and go, ugh?
Yeah, our approach with our school too is to look at the whole person. It's not only what you're eating, but some of the other things like your relationships in your life, what you're doing with your career. So many factors in our lives contribute to our overall health. So it's hard to say, yes, it's only the food. It's really like we have to really look at so many different aspects of the
So-
person.
Let's go back 10 years. Were you guys both healthy 10 years ago?
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about your both of you separately or together about your journey to this, new school that you've
Yeah,
launched.
well, I'm a little older than Alex, so I've been on this journey for a while.
Okay.
College was rough for me. A lot of drinking, partying, eating.
local.
Eating junk.
super
Yeah.
local.
Yeah, I grew up in Springs. My parents owned Michael's Restaurant. They opened that in the late '70s in Springs.
I bought into that so I'd have a place to drink, by the way.
Yeah.
Penny Myers was
Yeah, I've heard from a lot of people that was a fun place to drink. So
Clavin, we used to drink there.
What? Just for people listening who don't know, where is that? What is that now? Whatever Michael's
now it's
was.
called Rita Cantina. My parents sold it many years
out
ago.
in the middle of so you were in that
Maidstone Park.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
We've
that's
talked about that
where I
in the
grew up, right
past.
next to the restaurant. There's a house attached to it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Jim Turner looked like he wanted to pipe something
I
in.
know your mother, and I played there.
Yeah.
It's a great restaurant too. Wow, it was good.
Yeah, it was a great
Yeah,
restaurant.
thank
In 3 Mile Harbor.
So anyway, yes, going back, so you've got your
Yeah.
local, your college is rough on you.
Yeah, so I got to the point in college where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. People say that, and actually, my parents had this book called Fit for Life that I remember them reading, and I pulled that off the shelf and started reading it. And it was laid out a pretty good plan for kind of taking care of your health and changing ways of eating. So I started practicing what the book taught. And I lost a lot of weight, I had more energy, and that really motivated me, inspired me to go down the health path. Because I was like, people need to know this. I only know this because I picked up this book. We're not
Was
taught.
that Pritikin? Wait, who wrote Fit for Life?
Harvey
Was that
Diamond.
Adele Davis? Or?
Harvey
Oh, I was thinking
Diamond.
that too.
Yeah,
Harvey
Harvey
Diamond,
Diamond.
yeah,
It was a big book. I don't know. I think it came out in the 80s. It was a really #1 bestseller, kind of trendy diet
He
book.
died
but
of a cholesterol-related. No, I'm sorry. No.
He's 120
By the way,
today.
this
Yeah, so
I'm still
he's
eating
doing
this
well.
delicious pumpkin breakfast
Yeah.
cookie. And
That's
it's
4
amazing.
servings, but okay. So, and how did you two meet? Was it over some kind of a health issue? Did you?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we actually
yeah,
met
true.
in AA, so we're both sober. And
Oh, wow.
for
I
me,
didn't
10
know
years
that.
ago, I was
Congratulations.
Yeah, tell us what you were like 10 years ago, Alex.
not in a good place. 10 years ago, I was, I think, just graduating culinary school, and
Who were some of the other people in that AA meeting? Sorry.
Some
that's-
people you might
It's a
know.
Hamptons meeting. Let's just all put in the. Okay.
Yeah, but same thing. I was at a place where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I thought to myself, like, I have the tools to make changes in my life. I know how to cook. I'm smart. I can do this. So, just gradually started making changes, and eventually went on to study plant-based nutrition and do a yoga teacher certification, and kind of unfolded naturally. And then when we met, we have a lot of common interests and a lot of complementary interests. So we decided to create this school, which is an online platform, primarily because we feel like what's being taught in traditional schooling systems is not really the important stuff.
Well, doctors get like a day and a half. I mean, I may be making this up, but I know I've read it, like a day and a half of nutritional
Right.
training.
Yeah,
So they
it's
don't
a very
know what to tell you,
small
really, unless
portion.
Yeah, is there still a food pyramid, or is it now a sphinx with like a giant, heavy set head and a?
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
we still follow some of those same guidelines?
Yeah, I mean, there's governmental guidelines that come out. It's actually now a plate, and each kind of portion of the plate represents a different food group you're
Right.
supposed to be getting. So
The protein should
they've
be like
moved
a
it-
fist, or about the
yeah,
size of it?
that's usually, or like a
Put your protein right here. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, or
All
like a
come out
deck
in the
of,
trial.
deck of card size, like
Yeah.
for meat. But
That's like
most
the
people
ounces.
when they go to eat meat, it's like, give me the 16-ounce whatever and all that.
Right.
And
There's nothing
I'll
wrong
have the
with
triple
eating
bypass
animal
for
foods
dessert.
necessarily, but like we as a people eat way too much.
Right, this country. I mean,
Yeah.
all the portions and everything.
Yeah. I mean, the food author Michael Pollan.
Yes.
His like basic teaching is eat food, not too much, mostly plants.
Right.
So I mean, it's pretty simple.
I
but
absolutely
it's
love
Not easy.
One of his tenets as well is you can eat whatever you want, you just have to make it from scratch.
Yes.
Because if you think about the foods, like something like French fries, that you can go to any big fast food thing and get them. If you had to make French fries, you would eat them like twice a year. Have you ever made French fries? It is the messiest. You just get spattered with hot oil. The cleanup sucks.
Bake
It's
'em.
like. Yeah, well, wait, now you're giving people an out. You're giving people an out, Alex. I'm saying that if you want French fries that have been cooked in oil,
Yeah.
we wouldn't eat them 3 times a day for
Yeah.
whatever, tater tots or whatever.
Jim Turner has a song about potatoes. I wish we had time for it. Anyway, so
You made him very nervous. Give us a song about potatoes, Jim.
he doesn't have a song about potato.
So anyway, so you went towards. So you had already been, both of you, in the food business and everything like that, and in the restaurant business and in cooking. What really made you pivot to the plant-based? Because you can be healthy, but you specialize, Alex, in vegan, kind of upscale gourmet. We have some photos as well of some of the.
Yeah, if you're listening
If you're
to
listening,
this, we'll
you're out
describe
of luck.
them. But
Oh, that's so cute. Look at all the food. It's a picture of Noah and Alex together in a kitchen with many, many healthy, eating
Yeah.
the rainbow foods there. And
That
wow.
was part of a filming we did for our School of Healthy Consciousness masterclass, kind of teaching people how to do meal prep at home.
Oh, do you teach like a little bit of cooking as well?
Yeah, that's
what
part of the
fun.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
And can we see another one there? Oh, these
Oh,
are
the
the
cookies.
cookie I have.
so here's a
in my
photograph of
hand
the
right
cookies
now.
we're actually eating, which
It's got pumpkin seeds on top, and
we'll
and
call that
lots of
Exhibit A in case there's something that
chocolate.
goes wrong
so
here.
delicious. And can we see another one there? Oh, that looks beautiful. What is that? That's
We're
like
looking at a
olive.
fruit
Fennel and
salad.
citrus salad from a dinner we did this summer.
So you do how many people? Oh, figs with what? Ricotta.
It's a tofu ricotta. Yeah,
Do you
with
make that from scratch?
With thyme. Yep. And peppered agave. Yeah, these are all things from the summer that
How
we
long have you
did.
guys been vegan?
Wait, and that's grilled peaches, right?
Yep. Grilled peaches.
Yum yum.
I've been vegan for 8.5 years.
What's that? That looks like it has meat on it. What is
That's
that?
barbecued mushrooms over crispy polenta.
See how they fooled you?
I want some of that right now.
It's depressingly easy for the
That is
record.
Amazing. It looks so. And what's that one?
That is a melon salad with sumac and jalapeno.
No, they're gorgeous looking, and I'm sure just as tasty. The tell people, because there's so many different categories now, what vegan is as opposed to any of the other.
Plant-based.
Yeah, right.
So vegan is no animal products
At
consumed
all.
in any way. So
no honey.
no clothing, no leather. You're not using products that have been tested on animals, and you're not consuming animal. Plant-based is just the diet aspect. So only focusing on what you're consuming internally, so not eating animals.
I'm a
So the
Schmegan.
breakfast, well, I'm
Vegan.
I'm Schmegan.
Schmegan.
So I try to eat mostly
Somewhat
vegan, but
vegan.
every once in a while I
From
gotta have steak.
Schmigadoon.
Yeah,
Basically,
but that's a
from
great
Schmigadoon and
approach.
Chicago.
I think what turns
Yeah.
a lot of people off from being vegan is this idea of absolutes and that like you can't mess up ever. But like Noah was saying, like the more plants you can eat, the better. So rather than thinking of less meat, just focus on more plants.
I want to hear a little bit about your trip to Thailand to learn Thai massage, because that's not why most people go to Thailand. They
Should
could
be.
say, "Oh, I'm there to learn about massage." Yeah, you are. But you guys actually went there for a whole month and came back with all this knowledge. Now, were
Yeah.
you already LMTs? Were you already licensed
No.
massage therapists? Okay.
No.
So you went there. This was fairly recently.
Yeah,
In
Yeah,
2023.
December.
Oh, 2022. And tell me what that was like. Had either of you been there before?
No.
I've
first
been
time
to
for me.
Asia, but
First
I'd
time
never been to
for me,
Thailand.
Yeah. So
it's incredible.
What could they teach you there that they couldn't teach you here?
I mean, you certainly can learn Thai massage in the States, but we knew friends that had done it. That's how we got interested in Thai massage. We had a Thai massage from a friend of ours who studied in Thailand, and it was the best massage I've ever had.
Is it deep tissue? Is it
It works with the
reflexology?
soft
What-
tissues and energy lines, and it's actually
I have a
called
lot of soft tissue.
Yeah, it's called Thai yoga massage. So it really incorporates a lot of like stretching and kind of just placing people in positions, and
yeah.
it's
There's a
delicious.
spiritual aspect
Yes.
too. It's almost a spiritual practice for the masseuse as
So
well
there's
as
an
who's
energy
receiving.
that comes in and out of you. And,
Yeah.
and interesting.
And there's a lot. You have your clothes on, and yeah,
We're on the
and you just-
ground.
You're
on
fully
mat.
clothed. There's no oils. You know, there's a little oil with the face massage part of it, but
That's
yeah,
amazing.
It's,
So-
it's different than a traditional massage. Yeah.
Are there other people out here who offer it, or are you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a handful of people.
There are.
Yeah, it's not as well known. Most people don't know
Right.
what a Thai massage is, or they have an idea, but
So tell me. So
They think they get tied up.
yeah.
And they're
Or
wrong.
beat up. Yeah.
a Thai massage. Yes, yeah, that's like a baseball bat party. Or whatever
Is it
they
a
call
bow tie? No.
So what? So tell me about being in Thailand, though. And did you have any interesting experiences while you were there? Maybe kind of
Yeah.
outside the realm of learning.
Well, we also
massage?
did a cooking class there,
Yeah.
a plant-based cooking class, which was incredible. And speaking of potatoes, we fell in love with a cat named Potato.
Did you name him Potato?
We named him
yeah.
Potato.
Okay, he was a
but
potato cat.
he was like an outdoor cat that came into our little villa and slept with us for like a week.
Did you bring potatoes home?
No, we wanted to.
Wanted
but
to, but we ended up going to 5 other countries after that, so it was
Where else-
a long.
Where
long
else did you
trip.
go?
I went to Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and then to Australia and New Zealand.
Wow, what an amazing trip.
Yeah, it
That's
was incredible. We were gone
In a
3.5
week.
months. Yeah.
That's okay. So you came back here, and did you already have the idea of School of Healthy Consciousness on your? And how do you
Yeah.
launch something like that? How do you get the word out? How do you get people involved? And
One step at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, we started working on the curriculum about 2 years ago, actually on our honeymoon in 2021, and
no joke.
No.
took like 2 years to create it, and then purchase the online platform, put everything on there, do the filming, create the resources. So it's been a labor of love, and we did a soft launch earlier this year, and
You have a beta group.
Yeah.
Explain this. So these are people who signed up, and you're kind of monitoring their well-being.
Yeah, so we have a beta test group working through our masterclass right now, which is a 6-month self-guided course that goes through 8 modules, and we meet with them every month to just kind of check in and see where they're at, how it's going, and all the feedback's been really positive so far, which has been great for us to hear and feel like we're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Now, if somebody wants to kind of hire you guys privately or something to work with them or whatever, because Noah, you do guide meditation, you guys.
I desperately need help.
I know. I wasn't looking at McCuddy, but I was thinking, this guy, is no. Help me! Help him! So
Yeah,
what?
how can folks get in touch with you?
So our website is the School of Healthy Consciousness, schoolofhealthyconsciousness.com. We're on Instagram as well. Depending on what people want, we will do a consult with them.
Are you doing it on Zoom for people around the country that just want to get a little?
Yeah, we work
Sort
with
of
local
jump
people
starter
in
or-
person, and then having this online platform has been amazing because it opens us up to a broader audience. So
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And
But
they don't
all-
have to be vegan. They can just want to get healthier.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
that's one pathway. And
yeah,
you can.
we want people to make decisions that feel right for them and their lifestyle, and we're just
Too
gonna
late for us.
give you.
It's too late for me. But what, I mean, you make it fun, and keep how do you keep someone committed to whatever they want to do. Because like I'm just thinking about no names, but like looking at myself, I committed to like if I had the money back from every gym I joined.
Well, Mrs. McCuddy talks about going to Canyon Ranch and how I'm gonna start making maca every day, and you come home and you're like, get me a candy bar.
I went to
like all goes out the window.
I went to Kripalu for 9 days for the guiding meditation module. I came out. I was like, the next morning for breakfast, I had a share size Good and Plenty box. That's the licorice candy. There's nothing good or
share with
plenty.
anyone?
No, God no.
plenty.
I wanted it all
It was
to
too
myself.
good.
And then I went
there
into
was plenty.
sugar coma. I had like gelatinous, like licorice drool, like hanging out of my mouth. I mean, really. So I understand how
They're
hard
children
it is to keep
listening
doing
to this.
this.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
It is. It's so hard.
yeah.
to
How do
keep
you stay on
it.
track?
Right.
I mean, I would say too, we kind of preface it that this is not for people who aren't willing to commit. I mean, it takes a lot of self-discipline, and you have to do the work if you want to see results. So, we host a webinar before every launch to kind of give people more details and information about what we're offering. And again, we just say that like this is going to take a commitment from you.
And
We're there to just help you.
The way that we've set up each lesson in each module is we call it the holistic equation. So we start with the foundation, and then we have action. So we give them things that they need to do and to start put into place and to build habits.
Okay,
Because that's what it takes. Is like it takes a while to build a habit.
Small steps, then,
Yeah.
right?
So we give them actionable steps to take, and then a reflection and results. So it's self-monitored. You can see when you started to where you are after maybe the first month. There's been a change.
Yeah, that's
I think once people
fantastic.
start to see the change, they're motivated to keep going.
Right.
They have a healthy relationship. And we could learn from that. Hey, listen, thank you for coming by.
Yeah,
One quick
thank
question
you
on
so
the
much.
breakfast cookies you brought. What's in that would be butter if you weren't vegan?
There's not a butter replacement. There's
No oil of any kind or no?
Yeah, there's I use chia as like an egg replacement. There's pumpkin, there's some sun butter in there, maple
And there's
syrup.
enough for all
Yes.
of our guests.
Everybody
and the
gets a
crew. It's
cookie.
so delicious. Alex Burst, Baked by Burst, and many other things. Noah Zingarelli, School of Healthy Consciousness. Look them up on Insta or on websites. Thanks, guys, for coming
Thanks for
in.
joining
So
us.
glad to have
Thank
you.
you.
Part of our Oktoberfest.
Yes. Our
Because you're in your car for several hours anyway on a Sunday trying to get by Pumpkin Town in Southampton, and you might as well listen to something. That's us. This is AirHamptons with Bridget and Bill.
I want to thank all of our guests. We had Christina Strassfield from the Southampton Arts Center.
We have plenty of. I hope we have plenty of time for Kelsey Grammer.
Oh yeah, we better do that right now.
Yeah, we better listen to a recent conversation where he was chatting with us about all things to do with, first of all, a beer he has called Faith, and then stage access programming that you can see at places like Hampton Bay's Regal Theater. Here's my recent interview with Kelsey Grammer.
Have lunch. What's the difference between promoting a beer like Faith and a book, a movie, or a television show?
Well, it's an interesting question.
I get lucky every now and then.
Yeah, the difference between promoting some of the work I've done as creative and the work I've done as a beer maker is that the response is instant usually, for one thing. The character of what I'm selling needn't be approved of or disapproved. You can either just have another beer or say, I don't want another one. There is true love in it.
This is great what you're doing with
Most of the films I've done, there was true love in that as well. So I guess it's an extended offering of myself, but I don't feel as cut up into pieces as I do with people who don't like the work I've done if I've written or wrote or performed.
Of all the people you've played, who would like a beer the most? Who is a beer drinker? You've been presidents.
I think it's. Well, it could be the president I did in the Kevin Costner movie called Swing Vote. He would like a
I
beer.
was almost making up a song
Or,
about potatoes there.
Tom Kane, the mayor of Chicago.
French fries.
He would love a beer.
What stage? Tell me about that. What are you doing with Bruce?
Oh,
Potatoes
say
all
that.
ground, it's all ground for me.
It's a home for classic arts that has sort of been born of the idea that
I got potatoes
the lockdown stopped people from seeing things. And this is now a way to reintroduce it to people who maybe that return to the theaters, and those theaters that are all over the world that are magnificent, rococo, houses where there's incredible ornament and style and spectacle on stage, they don't go see it. So this is a way for them to still see it.
Kelsey Grammer is coming back as Frasier, but he wasn't allowed to tell me that because of the strike. So,
Oh, there you go. But that was a great.
Hey, we're not on strike. We're here.
We are not. Well, I'm not a member of SAG, so there you go.
And Jim Turner's here as well. Thanks for joining us for
We've
the
had a great
October
show.
fall harvest here
Yes.
of AirHamptons with Bridget and Bill. Thanks for listening.
This is called Potato Blues. Swinging Potato
I don't
Blues.
have potatoes.
I like blue potatoes.
There's a little cat named Potatoes somewhere in the Eastern Asia. And it's eating very badly.